I think that there's a question to be asked about the conflation of whiteness and ethnicity, as I believe you were doing many times in that previous question. Many people from this country, as you have stated, are from Germany, are from England, are from countries that you would consider white. But whiteness specifically, in its legal history in America, was codified in laws and customs that were used to do violence to people who were not white, including the people who you would seek to defend. Italians were forced to assimilate into a quote-unquote white culture. So when you say you support a white student union, it seems to me you would have to defend the legal use of whiteness in this country, which was used to do things like justify free sex for the man, used to justify Native American discrimination. There's a distinction between affirming the ethnic desire to say I'm German and I'm English, and affirming whiteness as it's been used in America as a legal tool to do violence, slavery, and genocide. So when you say you wish to defend associations, it seems you must also defend that how associations and power structures in this country have been produced is through a history of slavery and genocide. You can't say neutral on the movie train. So you want to defend the current power configurations that determine associations in America.
Now, I find this very interesting. You've brought up this 3/5 of a man. You talked about slavery. Did you know that there's a Saudi student union? Now, Saudi Arabia, as I said before, women don't have any rights there. Saudi Arabia is a dictatorship. There's no democracy there. Saudi Arabia, people who are not Muslims can't practice their religion. Saudi Arabia, I don't know what they do with homosexuals. They hang them, they behead them. There are lots of things wrong with Saudi Arabia today. Now, you are in effect saying that Matt Hambach can't have a student union because of slavery. And that was over 150 years ago. Were you here when the Saudi Arabian students got together? Did you drag them over the coals and say, hold on, no, let me finish. Were you here when the Saudi Arabians wanted to organize and say, you answer for this that you're doing today? I'm sure you did not. But you are here asking him to say, because of slavery that happened 150 years ago, you as a white man have no right to organize. Now, I have a hard time taking that seriously.
Okay, I have a question. Yes, a specific question. Sir, I believe you have not answered my argument.
Excuse me?
My argument was that the specific use of whiteness in this country was codified in laws specifically to allocate resources to people who got those resources through violence. Capture of Black Africans and Native Americans. So why don't you celebrate a white history as opposed to the English history or the German history? Why specific the color of whiteness, which is a tool for violence only in this country, as opposed to your supposed love of English German ethnicity?
Because if I walk into Harlem and somebody decides, well, there goes a white guy, and I'm going to attack him because he's white, that person is not going to say, is he German? Is he a wasp? Is he Italian? No. The crucial aspect of what defines people in this country is not your ethnicity. The things that every other group, a Hispanic or a white or a black or an Asian, looks at is race.
All right, so you asked a very important question about kind of like the political idea of whiteness versus larger ethnic kind of conflations that he's making with it.
Well, I guess the question is, if you celebrate whiteness, how can you celebrate that outside of the history of whiteness in America? And I think a lot of people conflate ethnicity, i.e. what country you're from, your cultural, historical legacy, background, with race, whiteness, blackness, redness, etc. And my argument was that when you have a white student union, that's directly celebrating whiteness. And whiteness in this country is very different than saying, I'm from England, the English country is great, or I'm from Italy, the Italian country is great. Celebrating whiteness is celebrating a specific history and specific power relations that have come with the term white in America. Laws are written in American history that say if you are white, you get to own property. That's Native American property. If you're white, you get to own slaves. Those are black slaves. So the term whiteness specifically connotes a legacy of violence in terms of the historical power relations and how America is produced. And if you have a white student union on campus, students of color, when they hear a white student union, understand that legacy of violence and suffer psychological damage from that term. And also, when you talk about promoting white interest, you're talking about promoting the interest of the current American order. The current American order was produced through a history of violence justified to whiteness. And so I feel the term white student union not only can't escape that history, but risk directly promoting the legacy of that violence and makes a very rough campus environment for anyone who's a person of color.